Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have another car vlog. I am on my way to pick up my medicine. My Ozempic, has been on back order since March 20th. I took the last shot last week. So every Tuesday, which today's Tuesday, I'm supposed to take a shot. So hopefully they have it. And I'm not going to get started, even though I will a little bit. I've been seeing people online promoting it for like weight loss, and they're not even overweight. But we're not going to get into that. If you're new, I am diabetic, so I use it for that. And it's really been helping my sugar. And I think that's why I've been feeling nauseous and different things like that, because my body's getting adjusted to having normal sugar levels instead of 300. You know what I mean? Okay. I have two cars in front of me, so I don't want to go in. I try not to go in stores as less as possible. I have to fix this. This is really bothering me. So this is my plan. Save My Medicine is here. Pick it up. I'm gonna go get a salad, and then we're gonna go to the lake. It's beautiful out. It's 3:35. It's 73 degrees out. It's beautiful. I don't know if you watched my video from yesterday, but I'm doing a lot better. I was sad yesterday. I was just missing my mom, and then I found that necklace that reminded me of my mom, and I felt like it was a sign. And I don't know, I just really miss her, especially when you know, for me, when I'm going through a lot, you know, I don't have anybody to talk to like my mom, you know. And I think that's what it is, you know. But I'm doing a lot better today. All right, so I don't know how long I'm going to be in line for, so I will be back. I'm going to listen to some music, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be back. I just want to see if my medicine is there. It was out of stock for a while. Yeah.
It's on National Backorder, so we won't know when exactly we're ordering it every day.
It's on National Backorder?
We don't know when we get it, we just order it every day. It will come in, but it has to be made.
So that's what pisses me off, because people are using it for weight loss instead of diabetes, what it's supposed to be for. And now we can't get it. Because I don't know what to do in the meantime. I have to call my doctor and see if she can change the medicine then.
Yeah, call the doctor so they can change your medicine.
Thank you.
Or you can call them out to other Rite Aids and have it. Other pharmacies that's not Rite Aid.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am so pissed. It's on a national back order, and they don't know when it can come in. They call every day for it. Like, I have none left. You know, I'm so mad. I gotta pull over for a second, because I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to, because now I'm pissed. I was on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I love Rich Lux, love him, but I'm going to call his ass out right now. He literally did a video showing he was taking Ozempic. First of all, he did it wrong. He supposedly shot it in your leg, whatever, okay? And he was saying he's doing it for his doctor for weight loss, to get his A1C under control. I don't know if he's diabetic. I've never heard him say diabetes, but he more or less promoted it for weight loss. And it's shit like that. And he said it was $1,200, so he must either paid cash or his doctor gave it to him. I don't know. But it's shit like that that pisses me off, as somebody like me, that I'm finally found something to help my sugar. Finally. My sugar was 136 yesterday, instead of 300, 400. I finally found something that is controlling my sugar. And now I can't get it, because people like that are promoting it for weight loss that are not obese. Listen, if it's prescribed for weight loss and you're obese and you need it, okay. But when you're not obese, stop promoting it when there's a national back order. Okay. I'm done. All right. So I'm going to go to Wendy's and get my salad. That must have been a bipolar moment. I don't know, because it just pisses me off. I don't know if I should go to the park. I'm definitely not going to the trail. Because I know it'll be crowded. It's nice out and I don't have Nala with me. So should I go to the park? But there'll probably be a lot of kids. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go to the lake. My mom. I was in such a good mood. All right, let me go get my salad and stuff, and I'll be back. All right, I am at the lake. I got my salad. Have my mace here. Let me put that in my pocket. I think I have to take this off because it's a little warm. I thought it'd be a little bit more chillier at the water. All right, let me put this around my neck. I have my knife here. I can't believe there's nobody here at the lake. Here is a baseball field, and when my son was younger, I used to take him and throw the ball, and he used to hit it. My son's really good at baseball. When I was in high school, I used to love track. Now, I'm only 5'3" and 3/4, and I used to do the hurdles and stuff. But I was a sprinter. I was not cross country. No ma'am. No ma'am. But I can sprint. I was fast. Where Isaiah, he loves cross country. Oh my goodness. He was like 6th grade and he was going against people at Stockton College. And he actually won. Because he can run and run and run. He does not get this from me. I don't know where he gets it from. Look how beautiful the water is. There's no geese here. Good, because now I don't feel bad. But I'm going to turn you around. I mean, just look how peaceful this looks. What I used to do, I've told you this before, I used to like sit here with the chair, me and my mom, and I would put the chair right here, and then just put my feet in the water and listen to this. And it's so soothing to me. And I'm gonna sit right here. That's why I didn't bring my chair. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let me set up and I'll be right back. I have to keep you like this because if I put you higher up, it's falling back. Like the weight is falling back because it's windy. So the angle's probably off, but that's what we're working with. So I might have my head cut off here. Hopefully you can see the water because if it was just up a little bit higher, let me see. I could do it like that, but isn't that gorgeous? I know the wind, I don't have my microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me. There's my salad, I don't know what you can see. I have to apologize for my earlier, like I was pissed, but I get really upset because there's other people that need this medicine worse than me, and it upsets me for people, you know? So, but I told you, I'm an Aries, and I am very short-tempered. I'm very high-strung, but I get over it very quickly. It's like, my grandmother used to tell me, you said what you said. It's over with, you know? And so I don't ever really hold grudges, you know? Here's what it looks like. I don't even put like half on, just a little tiny bit. That's all that I put on. Alright, I'm starving. There's a basketball court over here. And there's a young man shooting hoops. Do you guys remember that as a kid? Shooting hoops, playing, what was it, horse? You got it shot in H, and then the O, and whoever got horse first won. It's weird seeing kids outside playing anymore. Like, you don't see it. They're like in the house, you know? I love being outside. I love it. Like walking, hiking, working out in the yard. I'm not talking about like putting on a sweat, like doing heavy, hard labor, but I just love it. And I'm not talking about 100-degree weather either, not humid, but like weather like this, oh my goodness, it's like the best. This brings back so many memories for me, like happy memories, really good memories. When my kids were little, I remember they used to be in the paper, like the news, they would come take pictures, put my kids on the front page of the paper, you know, swimming, like, oh, it's summertime, you know, and there would be 2 lifeguards here. So you either paid for a day pass, I want to say like it was maybe $3 a day or $5 a day. And then you can do the whole summer pass, which was very cheap, like $10 a person. Of course, that's what I got. And then what that did was that paid for the lifeguards. That's how they got paid. And also cleaning, keep it clean, because there was a lot of, you know, the geese, like the poop and stuff. But what happened was they would test the water, and I guess it was so much bacteria from the geese poop that they stopped it. And also, a lot of people weren't coming here anymore. You know, they'd rather go down the shore to the beach. So they weren't making money, and they couldn't afford a lifeguard. And, I mean, if somebody drowns or something like that, because there's a few people that have drowned, so they just stopped it. So it's a shame, you know. So now you're not allowed to go swimming here. All right, let me finish eating my salad, and then we'll be back. All right, I ate most of it, not all of it. I have it here. And let's just walk. Oh my gosh. How can this not be peace? And you know, every time I come here, there's hardly anybody here. I need to take more advantage of it instead of just staying in the house when I'm depressed. Even if I don't film, you know what I mean? Just coming here and walking instead of being home depressed. You know what I mean? Because this is how I feel close to my mom. You would think, because I live in her house now, right, that would make me feel close. But not really, because there was a fire in 2018. They moved in. My grandmother had passed away before the house was done, because my mom and grandma lived together. And then 2019, October 31st, either October 30th or the 31st, my mom moved back in at 2019, and then she died on Thanksgiving. So she wasn't there a month, but it's so different now that it reminds me of my childhood, but then again, it doesn't. It's bittersweet because we didn't make any new memories in the house, if that makes sense, you know? Oh, this is beautiful. Right here too. Let me show you. That is just gorgeous. So anyway, I feel closer places like this where we spend a lot of time at, if that makes sense, you know? So I've been here before, but just in case you're new, when I was growing up, they didn't have this. So these are like, you know, for bikes now. You can ride your bikes. But as many times as I've been here, I have never seen anybody with their bike. I mean, do kids even ride bikes anymore? It's sad, I don't ever see them. But I want to get a bike. And I want to start going bike riding, especially the trails that I go to, because there's a spot for bike riding. I like to do that. But I'd probably bust my ass, but I would have so much fun going up and down these hills. And then there's some over there. Now let me take you over here. So they took the slides. There used to be those really big slides. Who remembers back in the day, the metal slides that you got burnt? You had 2nd and 3rd degree burns in the summer or in the springtime. Who the hell ever thought about making metal slides to go down because it's so hot? Why not plastic? I don't know, but we all did it. So they took them down. I'll show you where it was at. They did keep these swings. I'm going to tell you a story. I know I told you the story before, but in case you're new, you know, I'm going to tell you a story about my kids. Okay. So here's the swings, right? You have 2 regular swings, and then you have baby swings. Over here in that little square, that used to be the slide. Of course, they took that down. Now, right here is a street, okay? Right here. So what I would do is, let's see, can you see better here? This is the street. So I would park right there, and then we just walk over, and my kids would, you know, they would play. Well, we were here for like a couple hours, and I'm like, all right, it was Lexi and Tyler, my oldest son. Lexi had to be about maybe 2. Tyler was maybe like 6. And I was ready to go, and they didn't want to leave. So I said, all right, well, I'm leaving. So I left them on the swing. I thought, well, they'll follow me. I get over here. Let me show you a closer picture. See the road right there? That's where I used to park. And I get in my car, and I start pulling off. You guys can see, like, you can pull off. Just to see them to come. And I went back to where, like, they really couldn't see me, but I just stayed there looking, because God forbid something was to happen to them. They just kept right on playing. I would think they would, like, be like, no, Mommy, don't leave. They knew I wasn't leaving them. I was like, are you kidding me? They just kept right on playing, like, oh, well. Oh, my God, that was funny. Little things like that I remember. Then over there are like barbecue pits, and I remember for my birthday as I was little, like 8, 9 years old. That's where we would have my birthday. So we would get, my birthday's in April, so of course it's not that hot, but we would have like little barbecues. Here's where the slide used to be. So I'll show you the barbecue pits and stuff. But you know, that was fun back then, you know. Because we only barbecued once in a great while. You know what I mean? That's when you would have birthday parties at McDonald's and Burger King. And that was the fun days, you know? It's like, you know, when I was growing up, you didn't eat out much. Like, so if you got pizza, that was like a special moment, you know? Chinese food, stuff like that. McDonald's. I mean, you only did it once a month or a couple times a month. That was it. It wasn't like how parents do it now, you know? And so you enjoyed that type of stuff because you didn't have that so much, if that makes sense, you know? And so those are the things I remember. And then, you know, playing with the kids in these basketball things, playing horse and different things, and shooting the hoops, and who can get the 3-pointers. And right here, you put your bike in there. All right, so let's go across the street. And this is also across the street where they have the little dog park, where I'm going to start taking Nala and the puppy because they cleaned it all up and stuff. But, all right, I'm going to turn you around. Oh, I almost bust my ass on that stone. Hold on. All right, so these are the basketball courts. Now, they look old because, my God, they were here since I was a little kid. And then these are the barbecue pits. I mean, they're original. They have to be at least, 40, 50, 60 years old at least. Let me show you. And people still use them because that coal isn't too old. So, you know, here's a little, you know, you put it up. Oh, that's heavy. And, you know, yeah. There's 4 of them. And then you would bring like a little table and chairs in the middle and stuff. And then this is the basketball court. I remember I was in 3rd grade, okay? And what were the rules? Now this is when I think now 3rd grade. How old was I? 7, 8? I don't know. And we were able to walk home from school by ourselves. But the rule was, you come right home. And then if you want to go back out and play, well, you do your homework, and then you can go back out and play. But you had to come home. Well, my friend, her name was Loretta. I don't remember her last name. And she lived right by the school. And she wanted me to come over. And I thought, well, if I just go over there for, a half hour, it won't matter, because in a kid's eyes, I'm not doing anything wrong, right? So I'll be home. I remember so my grandmother watched me, because my mom worked at the time. And my grandma went looking for me, and she found me. I guess she asked some parents, because me and Loretta were playing outside. And I always had really long hair. And I remember my grandma took me by my hair, and she beat me all the way home. Not abused me, but why didn't you come home? And, I get it now as an adult, but I remember to my mom, what? Because I didn't understand. I'm like, what did I do wrong? But I'll tell you what, I always came home every day after school before I went back out. And I was punished. And those were the times when they said you're punished for a week. You're punished for a week. They don't tell you, well, you're punished for a week, and a couple hours later you can go out and play. No, you were punished for that whole week. And we had Atari and stuff like that, but so we had that video game, but it wasn't how it was now. And so all you knew to have fun really was going outside and play. So when they took that away from you, you felt like you were in jail. You didn't have cell phones and stuff like that back then. And now I get it. I mean, she probably, I wasn't her child, I was a granddaughter, so she's probably nervous wreck, thinking I got kidnapped. I'm walking home from school. But back then, it's there wasn't social media. I mean, you knew a kid could get kidnapped, but you trust more, right? I just couldn't imagine having my 7-year-old walk home from school by herself. But that's how it was back then. I remember at that age walking to Wawa, getting a milk, and my grandma liked her Hershey bar. And I would come, on my bike. I had a bike, of course, and a 10-speed bike. And I would ride my bike and go get it. But it's kids now, 14 and 15, you ask them to do it, and people are parents are no. I even know people that won't even allow their kids to stay home by themselves at that age. And it's do you remember how we used to go to the store and everything by ourselves, I mean, should we have? No, hence what we know now, of course, but that's just how it was. I moved around a lot. So in 5th grade, I lived in Ocean City, New Jersey. Oh, this is pretty too. And I lived on 9th and Asbury. We lived on top of a karate store. And our school was on 34th Street. So my brother, he went to a different school. So I was the only one. It was me and my brother. I was the only one that went to, it was called an intermediate school on 34th Street. So Asbury Avenue is only a couple streets away from the boardwalk, okay? So I would take my bike and I would go on the boardwalk, and then from 9th Street, ride all the way down to 34th Street and go. But I had my friend Leslie that lived a couple streets over, and we would meet on the boardwalk on a certain block, and then we would ride our bikes together to school. But even then, at what, year 10 in 5th grade? And I thought, we're riding how many blocks? Because, they didn't have buses then. You had to live at least a mile before you can catch a bus. But so snow, rain, because my mom had to work. She was a single mom. We had to ride our bikes to school. And it's now you're 15-year-old, you're 14-year-old, you don't want to leave them home by themselves? I don't know. I mean, we had to work. I remember at 16, as soon as I was able to work, I tried to work at 15, but my first job was at Bradley's. It was in the mall. It was a department store. And I worked in the shoe department. And I only worked 12 to 20 hours a week. And I remember I would bring home $80 a week. I thought I was rich. You couldn't tell me nothing. But you had to work. You had to do that type of stuff, Kids are so lazy now, I always told my kids, you either work or go to school. I prefer you to do both. But if you're going to school, like college or whatever, and your grades are failing, then you just focus on that. If you could do both, you need to do both. Because it teaches them responsibility, you know? Like my grandmother, if I borrowed $5 from her, and this is when I was an adult too, and I said, Grandma, I'll give it back to you Friday. Thursday night, she's calling me and like, make sure you bring my $5. And if I didn't pay her, she'd never let me borrow money again. Now, if I borrowed and said, Grandma, I don't know when I could pay you back, or if I told her ahead of time, Grandma, can I get another week? That was fine. But if you told her, then that's when you better pay her back. She didn't give a hell. She didn't care if it was $1. And you know what? I used to be so mad and angry. But now, it taught me responsibility. I am so glad they did that. As soon as I turned 18, I had to pay rent. I had to pay. And and here I had a kid, and I'm so glad though, because it taught me, like, when I owe somebody money, I will pay them back before I pay my own bill. So if my cable bill's due where it's gonna get cut off, I'm paying back who I owe first, and my cable bill will get cut off. Where a lot of people, I know, will pay their own bills first and be like, oh, I'll pay you back when I can. What? No. So, you know, like, as I'm an adult now and I have kids, I totally get little things that they did, and I so appreciate them. Like, I can't even explain it. I truly appreciate them so much, because they made me who I was today. And I think that's why I was so strong. My grandma used to always tell me, and no matter what you go through in life, you still got to get up, go to work, do whatever you have to do. You can cry yourself to sleep every night. You can cry when you're in the shower, but you still got to get up and do what you're supposed to do, because life goes on. It doesn't stop for you. And that's why, like, when my mother died on Thanksgiving, some people couldn't understand, well, how did I finish cooking Thanksgiving dinner? How did I do that? It's like, well, my kids still had to eat. This is in my head. I was raised, you know, this is what you have to do. When my mother died, 2 days later, I'm making YouTube videos. Like, it's just all that I know. My husband not helping with bills. Well, the bills still had to be paid, so I had to do what I had to do to make sure the bills were paid. When a lot of you guys were like, well, just take time off. No, I couldn't, because I had to keep working to make money, right? And why I was a single mom and how I was able to raise my kids. It's just, like I said, how I was brought up. And I think nowadays kids are, I don't know about this gentle parenting. I don't understand it. Or they're too, like, patted on the back, when I think parents need to go back old school. I'm not talking about beating your kids and abusing your kids. That's not what I'm saying. Go back old school and teach them responsibility. Because kids these days, I mean, look at just how kids are these days. They don't want to work. I don't understand it. They want to live with their parents. Like, they don't want their own place. Do you remember us growing up? We couldn't wait till we turn 18 so we could move out. I mean, that was really stupid. I mean, let's keep it real. But I mean, you know, we had ambitions and goals. Kids don't have that anymore. And I don't mean all kids, like, because my kids are, I'm very blessed. But, like, I see a lot of, and it's like, oh, you're hurting your child. You know? We were made, I don't care how sick I was, unless I was throwing up or had diarrhea, I had to go to school. I had to. I couldn't stay home because I had a headache or my stomach hurted. No, you go to school. But it made me who I am today. And I even did that with my kids. Lexi, unless she was throwing up, but she wasn't feeling good, I would say, well, go to school. If the nurse calls me, it's one thing, but you need to go to school. And now, I can't remember when the last time my daughter took off of work. And when my daughter in 2019 had open heart and lung surgery, she had blood clots. She was only 19 years old. She had to beg the doctor to put her back to work. When they wanted her to stay out, she's like, Mom, I want to work. I want to make money. Like, my kids are just like that, because I always made them go, you know. I don't know. I don't even know how I got on this subject. Well, I have no idea. But when I get in, this is like when I go on my trails, like when I start walking, or my walk and talks, and I'm like, oh, I'm venting again, but I get in these deep thoughts and I just talk. Because I feel like I'm talking to my friends, like, you guys can relate, you know? And we're all around the same age, you know, give or take. So you guys, you understand. But Yeah, I feel so better now. Like I said, see, every time I come here, it's like a zen. It gives me so much peace. We take for granted a lot of things. I wish I would have spent more quality time with my mom. Or when I was younger, or a young mom, and my mom used to come, you know, watch her grandkids at the lake. I wish I would have enjoyed those times more. Because you can't get them back, you know? So like now, you notice I don't film as much anymore. I still film, but not like I used to, because now if Lexi's like, Mom, you know, come watch a movie. Okay. You know, like, I want to spend as much time as I can with my kids, because life is so short and we never know what the future holds. And, I don't know. Spend as much time you can with your loved ones, you know? And if you're not happy and not in a good relationship, get out. Get out. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I think I'm going to sit for about another 5 minutes by the water and talk to my mom. And, you know, then go home. I'm going to edit this video. I didn't film anything for my main channel. I'll do that tomorrow. But, because the time I get home now and film and edit it, wouldn't be able to go up tonight anyway. I don't know, we'll see. But, I'm going to try to get this video up for you tonight. And definitely one day, either tomorrow, I don't know, tomorrow I have to go to court in the morning. So I don't know how I'm going to feel afterwards. But if it's still early, maybe I'll go to the beach then tomorrow and just walk the beach, take you guys with me. I don't know, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Do a couple laps, sit by the water for a little bit. And oh, very quickly, thank you guys so much for all of your kind words again in my videos. Yesterday when I sat down, I just wanted to tell you where I've been at, and I don't know what happened. I went into a venting session about my marriage. That wasn't what I had planned. But thank you guys for all your kind words. I really appreciate it. And every time you guys share your stories, it makes me feel like I'm not so alone. Does that make sense? You know, I don't feel so, oh, I'm so stupid for staying this long, or how did I allow this to happen? What am I teaching my daughter? Like, I don't know. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Please like this video. It really does help me out. Make sure you comment. Commenting really does help out with engagement. Don't forget to check out my main channel, Just Ann. All right, guys. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.